Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. Just going to spin this one around and set the hired help going so that we can finish off this last little tiny bit of the field. Like that. It will finish planting the canola right in there, and while that one is doing that, we are going to take this tractor right here and we're going to go and get a trailer full of silage bales. And we're going to take these silage bales back over to our feed mixer and we're going to load up as much silage as we can into the thing and have it doing mixing more silage. If we can get that going, that would be absolutely fan-schmabulous. And just bring that round. There we go. Excellent. Right, so we will pop that one down on there. I'm going to unload it onto the trailer like that, and we'll just strap it down properly. So we've got an awful lot of weight on this trailer. Now I need to bring the tractor round like that, straighten it up a little bit, and then we've got to get this trailer out of here without tipping the thing over. It's a little bit uneven here in places. It should be alright. I don't think it's going to be too much trouble. I'm actually thinking it would be better if we head out this way onto the road over this side, and then we can drive back round on the track. It's going to be a little bit easier for us. There, we drive back round on the track now, and then we can go and unload all of this straight into our feed mixer there, and it should be enough in there then to allow us to fill up the cows completely and also allow for a few extra cows as well when we get to them. The planting is not going to take very much. You know, it probably would be better if I didn't go driving over the grill on here. Especially considering that's a sale point on there. That was a bit daft, wasn't it? Right. Load that up. I'm amazed I only sold two. This is a sell point. This isn't where I'm supposed to be tipping stuff. This is a sell point. That was an error. That was a terrible, terrible mistake on my part. I should not have done that. What did we get for it? 260. Not a great price either. It definitely wasn't a great price. I mean, we've done better. Wool is down to $600 at the moment per 1,000 litres. Wool is way down. Right, yeah, we really didn't actually want to go and do that, but it's done. At least I only sold 2 bales. It could have been a lot worse. Next time I will remember and I won't drive over that bit. I will go to here and I will unload on... now I'll unload onto the trailer like that. We'll leave the straps off. And then if we drive up through here, it'll do the bales on one side, like that. I'll put the straps on while I move round. And then I spin the trailer round. And we drive back again, going in the other direction, and it will unload the rest of the bales. And just shove them off and straight into the machine, which should be absolutely wonderful if we could have that. And bring you back down this way. There. Right, take straps off. Otherwise it does strange and bizarre things to the game. And we bring you down through there like that. Okay, that has given us 176,000 litres of silage in there. We've got 161,000 litres of straw and 100,000 litres of hay. That's going to keep us going for a bit. We've already got 157,000 litres of total mixed ration in there. So with the ingredients that we've got, that's going to keep us in food for the cows for quite some time to come. We're not going to need to worry about them at all. The wool we've only recently sold, so we don't need to concern ourselves with that at the moment. I'll unhitch the trailer right there. I'm going to bring this one round. Actually, you know what? I'm going to clean off this tractor. It's been a while since we hosed this tractor down. So I think we will clean the tractor off. So if I bring you over there and stop you, then we will get our pressure washer out. We've got a few machines that need to be put away. We'll do that in a little bit. I want to get the front loader on so that I can tidy up the sheep. We can tidy up the cows a little bit as well. And we can also, I think, tidy up the chickens. They may need a little bit of tidying up as well. And just get everything looking a little bit more presentable around here. And then when we've done that, we can... sure what else we need to do, really, other than get a bit of fertilizer onto the field that we've just planted. There isn't a great deal other that we still need to do. So the fertilizer is quite an important job. We do want to get that on there and get that spread. Now, I was being told, I'm not actually sure if I've mentioned this, but I was told that these days, fertilizer for organic farms, pelleted fertilizer that is actually classed as organic, there's very little difference in the price between organic fertilizer and regular fertilizer, because it's partly to do with the fact that, well, that they have got production methods a lot cheaper now, but also the prices of regular fertilizer have come up quite a lot as well. So it's not actually, there's not a great deal of difference between the two different types of fertilizer anymore. There used to be quite a considerable difference. But there isn't anymore. So we could, with an organic farm, we could say that we're doing an organic farm. We could still just use normal pelleted fertilizer on the farm without any real penalty. We'll try and use as much manure and slurry as we can, which obviously it's not coming into this one. I'm talking about the next series where we do our contracting one, and as we build up our own land, we try and stay exclusively organic. We can use we'll just use normal fertilizer. We'll just say that it's organic fertilizer, because I've been told by some reliable sources that, and as in you the viewers, that it's quite the price difference now is negligible. There's very, very little price difference anymore, and you don't really notice it. Where the differences come in is that you're not allowed to use any herbicides or sprays or anything like that. And that does impact the overall crop yields by quite a considerable amount, because you can't treat for diseases, you can't treat for insects and other pest problems, and you also can't go and spray herbicides down to get the other weeds out of the way. So there are issues with that. So I'm kind of thinking that a good compromise on that... what do I want to do in here? I've got standard configuration on there. The wheels are standard. Wheel setup. Engine setup. I think the engine setup that we've got, it's staying. Yes, it is. It's staying as the front one. I want to change over this one, the front loader attachment. I want Stoll console on there, isn't it? Hydraulic connection old, alloy console. No, it's the Stoll console, because we've got a Stoll loader. So we want to have that one. Yes. So yeah, what I'm thinking is, for an organic farm, to represent the yield differences that you would get with organic farming, we don't go and use a mechanical weeder at all in the next series. We will use regular fertilizer, because the cost difference in fertilizers these days are non-existent. Lime is an organic thing anyway, so we can put lime on the fields if we want to. It's classed as organic as far as I know, so that wouldn't be a problem. We'd be able to use lime. The only thing that we wouldn't do is put herbicide on the field, and in order to represent the fact that normal organic farming, you've also got to deal with pests and... No, actually, I don't want the manure fork. I want the bucket. You got to deal with pests and other things like that that aren't represented in the game. We're not going to do any weed treatment at all. We won't use a rake. We won't use pesticides, anything like that. So our organic yields are going to be lower than regular yields, because we're not putting any sprays on. We are going to be taking a hit because of the weeds. And I'm curious just what the weed is. It does improving yield right here. Spread fertilizer twice is plus 25% each time. Spread lime is plus 15%. To avoid a 30... So ignore... We'll do the ploughing, yes. We basically take a 20% hit if we don't remove the weeds. So we have 20% less on the field if we leave the weeds where they are. We won't do that, because that will represent, I feel, the reduced yields that you normally get from organic farming. And a lot of those reduced yields are because of the weeds, pests, potential diseases. There are differences in fertilizer. You are able to put more fertilizers on with or different types of fertilizer. Maybe we could do it that we say only one round of fertilizer or something like that. I'd be very interested to hear what you think about this, what you think we should do to accurately represent organic farming, especially as in real life, pelleted fertilizer for organic farms is now so readily available. I didn't actually realize that. I was saying before that you don't get pelleted fertilizers, or you can, but it's really expensive. But having been told that it is not really expensive, and it is a relatively common thing for organic farmers to use, I feel that we need to do something that is a little more accurate. The whole point of my hardcore series is to be realistic. I'd like to have a realistic approach. I mean, yes, the whole auto-loading thing with trailers, that's not particularly realistic, but we explain that, and we cut the corners, I feel, in an appropriate way, but I still want things to accurately represent real life, and give good reasons for everything that we do, for the decisions that we take. And so this is one that I would like some feedback on. How do you think we should accurately represent an organic farm? It's got to have less yield than a regular farm. Organic farming, I don't know of any organic farming that has yields that match regular farming, and it is a large amount to do. It is partly to do with fertilizers, but it's also to do with the various different sprays that are available that aren't used in organic farming. So we kind of need to have that represented as well. So how should we represent it? What should we do to accurately represent it? Now, I'm liking this idea of having I'm just going to bring that seed drill to there, and I'm going to unhitch it like that so that we can hose it off in a bit. I will go and take that cultivator and see if I can put that back in the shed, even though I've got dual wheels on. I want to get a fertilizer spreader going, so I'm going to use this tractor for. Yeah, I like the idea of being able to use a bit of fertilizer. Maybe you feel that we should only do one round of fertilizer on the fields instead of doing two, but personally, I think that could end up getting confusing. I think we could end up easily making mistakes doing it like that. I think that if we were to say no weed treatments at all, that 20% hit is at least a good start. We could also say no lime on the fields and lose an additional 15% bonus that's potentially there. That could be another one that you think would be an acceptable sort of compromise to trip towards organic farming. On the plus side of it, if I only do the weed thing, we are taking a bit of a yield hit, but the way that we're going to kind of offset because that's not going to be the full yield hit. The organic farming does have more of a yield hit than just 20%. It's not just 20% less. I think it's a fair bit more than that. I don't know, though. I don't know. I don't know the exact figures. I could be wrong on this. I could very easily be wrong. So I'm kind of thinking that if we were to say we don't do any weed treatment, but then I don't, because I was going to have, I've just made a horrible mistake there. I want to do that there. I want to fill this one up. I did say originally that I would try to have a sell point that would give us an additional 50%. Say something like the one that we've got here, although this one is an extra 50% anyway, but maybe modify it again so that we get extra. What am I trying to do? I want to lift it up. That's what I want to do. So that we get extra crop. We get extra money for our crop to represent the increase that we would get for our organic farming. I could not do that, just do the weed thing, and then sell the crop for the regular prices. So we're not getting like a massive increase in the prices, but because we're getting all of the other bonuses on our... What is wrong with me today? Right, there. That's what I want to do. Get that one going. Because we're getting all of the other bonuses on the fields, we're getting a lime bonus, we're getting a few other bonuses as well, and we're doing all the fertilizer, because fertilizer costs are fairly similar these days to regular fertilizer. We're not pulling in this big price bonus, but instead I just sell for regular costs, and we've only taken a 20% hit on our overall production costs, I'm thinking that would kind of balance out a little bit. At least this is what I'm thinking. I don't know. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section as far as the next series and setting up the organic stuff is concerned. I like the idea of not doing any weed treatment so that we do take a bit of a yield hit. But on the other hand, organic farming and regular farming, is there much of a difference in overall profit? That's the other thing that I want to know. Anybody who's been involved with organic farming, I have had some feedback about the fertilizer telling me that these days, well, actually, fertilizer, you get organic stuff about the same price as regular fertilizer. Is there much of a difference in the overall profitability of both ventures? What is the incentive for a farmer to go organic these days? Is there still a potential bigger increase in profits? As I understood it from several years ago, there were bigger profits to be made if you had a decent yield, certainly for arable side of things. For meat production, there was some yield, there was some profit increase, but it wasn't a big amount. It just basically meant that you had less. You got better premium for your meat. You got better payment for your meat as long as you sold at the right time. You were dependent more on the markets with that. But you ended up producing slightly less meat because you weren't able to produce as much as fast because you're not stuffing them full of corn and things like that. So there were differences in it like that. As far as arable farming was concerned with organic, the main difference overall was that the organic farming resulted in it was more of a gamble is what you were looking at. You did get a better price for your grain, and the overall yield difference was more than compensated for by the better price that you could expect for it. So despite the fact that you were producing less, you had a considerable price difference, and that price difference more than made up for the the difference between the yields. So regular farming and organic farming, the organic farmer would come out making more money per acre in a good year. In a poorer year, the regular farmer would make more money because the regular farmer is able to spray against the pests, against the weeds, against the diseases that can potentially hit your crops, whereas the organic farmer can't fall back onto those treatments. So if there's a bad year, the organic farmer is more likely to take a bigger hit in yield. So it becomes more of a gamble. And that's what I was led to understand with organic farming. Organic farming has the potential to make you some quite substantial profits that can go a reasonable way above regular farming. However, that comes at the added cost of increased risk. So you have a bad year and your percentage profits are going to go way down. I'm assuming that something like that is still going now. So in order to sort of accurately represent that in the game, what I was thinking was that we don't store crops, because the normal procedure in the game is that you harvest your crops and you put them in a silo and you hold on to them until it's time to sell them at a good price. Now, if we're taking a slight yield hit with letting the weeds just grow, we know that's going to give us a bit of a yield hit, but it's not going to be the end of the story. I think that what we should also do to really accurately represent the risk of the organic farming is not have on-farm silos. When we harvest, because we're not going to be keeping pigs, the only animals we're going to be keeping are going to be cows. That's what I want to do for the next one. It's just going to be cows, and we're doing this organic. So we can use pelleted fertilizer, which means that we'll get good yields on our grass. But when it comes to selling the crops that we grow, because we'll want to be growing some, it's certainly to be getting some straw and to get some other money, when we harvest, we harvest and sell immediately to whoever's offering the best price. We don't wait. We don't have a middleman. We don't have any storage. We don't hold it to wait for a good price. We sell immediately to whoever's offering the best price on the map. So if, say, for example, we've grown some wheat so that we can get some wheat straw out of this, and what are you doing? If we, say, for example, we grow some wheat and we decide yada yada yada, and we go to sell it, and wheat price is absolutely through the floor on that particular day. Too bad, we've got to sell it anyway. We have got no choice in the matter, because that is the downside to organic farming. There is this increased risk, and we've basically lost out this time. That's all we're going to get. That, I think, could be the most accurate representation of this increased gamble that is organic farming. So I don't know. What do you think? Get in the comment section. Do you like this idea that we have to do immediate sale? Do you think that we shouldn't? We'll do the same with milk. We won't wait until such time as the milk has got a good price available. We have to sell the milk first thing in the morning every single day, taking whatever price is available. It's organic milk. Sometimes the price is up, sometimes the price is down. It might be that we've had something unfortunate happen with our animals, so our overall yield of milk is down. That's not going to fluctuate that much in the game, but you know, the profitability of our venture would be accurately represented by the sharp fluctuation in the price of milk. What do you think? We use normal fertilizer. We spread that onto, so we can put that on the grass, as fertilizer in real life is apparently roughly the same price. There's not a lot of difference in it. And in order to represent this gamble that is organic farming, we have to take whatever price is offered at the time for the products that we've got. We don't get to store it. We don't get to hold it until there's a better price. If we've made it, we sell it. And that's that. We don't have any choice in the matter. And sometimes we will cash in and we get lucky. Sometimes we won't get lucky and we will have a poor performance with the finances. Get in the comment section. I'd love to get your feedback on this one. I've been giving this a little bit of thought, see, and I've been kind of wondering what's the best approach. How am I going to do this? How can I really accurately represent it? I mean, I was thinking maybe we would seriously increase the price of fertilizer, but apparently that's not entirely realistic and accurate. So I think that this might be the most accurate way that we can represent this whole yield drops and increases at random, because the prices in the game, they're pretty random. So we really have no way of knowing. We wouldn't be able to sort of plan ahead and say, well, this time we won't put fertilizer on to represent a price drop this time, things like that. We would have to just go with whatever market forces dictated on the day, and that, I think, is closer to real farming than any of our other current options. So if you've got any other ideas, if you've got a better suggestion, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. I'm open to any other suggestions as well. If there's a better way of doing this, yes, I'm all ears. Let's see if we can do it. And we will see where this takes us. Now, we have got this one all spread with fertilizer. If I just come up there, and that's the last little bit. If we go and have a look at our little map over here, we've got fruit types, we've got growth in there, and right here you can see we've got fertilizer spread across everything. The only thing that we haven't done is put herbicide on this field here. Now remember, all this talk about organic farming and stuff, this is for the next series, not the series we're currently doing. This one we're doing normal farming. The idea with this one is that we've got to just carry on going until we've got all of our cows over there, and we've also got a load of pigs as well. At the moment we've got no money. We've got a great demand at the universal selling point. What are we great demanding? Never actually seen a great demand that has benefited us in any way, and it's for sugar beet, and it's not going to benefit us either. No, I don't want to be selling nothing that we've got now. We're not interested in selling anything at all. We do not want to sell anything that we have got left now. We want to keep everything that we've got. So I will go to here. We will repair this tractor, yes, and we will also repair that one, yes, excellent. Right, you're all done. I can jump into here and I can go and put the fertilizer spreader away. Bring you back round. I'll leave the little bit of fertilizer that's in there, but I won't add any more to it. And once I put this one away, then I am fast forwarding time at the moment. You can probably see that. You've probably already figured that one out. Once we have reached bedtime, we will get a little bit of sleep. And I'm hoping by the morning the weeds will have come through on the field and we can set the sprayer going and get that job done. Let's lower you down there. We are supposed to be now leaving the cows for every other day milk collection unless they've got more than half a tanker load there to start with. I don't know what it's going to be at. I've no idea how much they will have reached. So I'm just going to bring you to here and stop you, because it is bedtime. Right, let's get a little bit of shut-eye, shall we? We want to go here. We want to get some 11 hours of sleep like that. The cows will have gone through, and we're now minus $200. We're now down a little bit on the money. The money is dropping. Let's just drop you down to 5 times speed. Take a look at everything that's going on here. So here are the cows. They're looking very happy and cheerful. The sheep at the moment, we've got 198 sheep, so we've had a few more spawn. The sheep, if I remember, it's 250 sheep in a pen, isn't it? Can't remember now. Right, the cows are 200. So it's 200 to fill up the pen for the cows. And the sheep, the pigs are 300. And then the large sheep is 250. So 250 sheep is what we're aiming for. We've got another 52 sheep that we've got to wait for. But the reproduction rate on them is pretty high, so it's not going to take long. We just need to clean them up a bit. Chickens, we've already got them all maxed out. We've just got to keep them with a little bit of food going. Cows, we're now on to 87. We got another one sometime around lunchtime. Will be due. We've got 12,000 litres of milk. That is not a half a tanker load. One tanker, I believe, is 64,000 litres. Let's go back to the tanker back here. It's 32,000. How much have I got? I got 12. Right. Once we reach 16,000 litres of milk in a single 24-hour period, we will then be selling every day rather than every other day. That's what we will start doing. So we're not selling milk today. Milk will be sold tomorrow. That's what we will do there. I can go and take you. We can start cleaning up these. Oh, the other thing that I want to look at is I want to go into here. And we do have weeds on the field. We've got... Is that advanced enough? What growth stage are you on? That's only the first growth stage. We can go and do that. Well, let's get the... Ooh. Just wondering which one we should do. I don't think we should do it with the dual wheels on. I think that's going to end up squashing too much of the crop. So what we'll do is we will use this tractor to do it. But we will come over here. I know I've left the other tractor running. That's probably not the best move. We will customize this one. And we will go from the twin wheels. We will go down to... We're not going to use the narrows on this just yet. I'm going to use normal wide tires on it. Like that. Oops. You know, it would help if I actually press... yes, when I do this, standards, wheel weights, wide tires. So normal wide tires on there. Customize, yes, okay. And jump back into you. Now, I've got that front weight there. I'm not actually going to use the front weight. We want to leave that one behind. It will make the tractor sit up and beg a little tiny bit, but with the weight of the herbicide in the back. But it's not so bad that it's going to cause the tractor to slide around and cause us any major issues. So, as such, we can go and hitch this one in here. We can get this one out of the shed. It's buried in the back a little bit. And then we will get on and spray this field. So, if I bring you over in like that, pull that one out of the way. I'll go and put this over in front of the... Actually... Yes, I do, because the seed drill has got to go in there, and the seed drill takes up too much room in the shed. I was just wondering if I should put this one in there somewhere, because I keep moving this one around. I'm not likely to use it anytime soon, because I'm doing other jobs. I don't have plans for doing any silage anytime soon. Our next job, we're going to do hay again, our next crop. Right, let's bring you back to there like that. Then I can go around and get the sprayer. A bit concerned that canola up there is going to grow another growth stage while I'm driving around the field getting this set up, which is going to result in us killing some of the crop with the front wheels of this tractor. Don't really want to do that. I mean, at the moment it seems like it's going to be alright. Let's bring you over this way like this. I notice I'm a little bit slower when I go around the corners because I don't have the big wheel sticking out. I don't have this kind of fake feeling, this false feeling of security. Aren't you loading? Bring me back. It's because it's not that. It's not that one there. That is herbicide, isn't it? That's the herbicide tank, isn't it? Yeah. Why aren't you loading? That's herbicide right there. I haven't got liquid fertilizer. Oh, it's because I got minus $242. I haven't got the money to put the herbicide on the field. I got no money. I can't afford it. This is not good. I can afford a little bit. What on earth? What have I done now? I've broken something. I haven't broken anything. We've just run out of money. That's all. Right, we'll start unfolding you here. We can get this first little bit put on. I got to get some cash. I've desperately got to get some cash. We've got to get some from somewhere. What do we got that we can sell? Wow. 343 for silage. We could always sell a couple bales of silage. Wool is way too low. I could try selling a few eggs, I suppose. Silage would make sense. Silage, if I was to go and sell, like, say, even 6 bales of silage, that would go a long way towards at least getting us some stuff here. Right. Let's go and spray off this bit just around the top here, just to start with. And once I've done that, I'll use up this half a tank that we've got, and then we're going to have to see. I think we're going to have to sell a couple bales of silage just to generate us a bit of short-term income. Then we can use that to buy a little bit more herbicide, because I don't want to leave it with no herbicide on the field. Yeah, I don't like that idea. That's going to end up costing us too much money. We're gonna take too much of a yield hit doing that, and I don't want to do it. That's not part of my master plan, making a big loss right now. So we'll drive on up this way. I have run out of time for today's episode, though, so we'll have to finish doing the herbicide spraying tomorrow, and then we're just tidying the yard up a little bit, making sure the animals are fed and clean and tidy as well, and then we're going to be skipping forward time. I could go and immediately start doing some grass right now, which would involve leaving the timescale, putting that back down to number 1 so that the timescale is running slowly, go and mow and do the whole field. But we'd only have the mowing going on. We wouldn't have anything else going on. I don't think we will do that. It's going to end up getting a little bit too tedious for everybody, I think. So it'll be in our best interest to just leave the grass, despite the fact that it is actually ready to cut right now. I'm still going to leave it until this field is ready to harvest, and we will do both of them at the same time. I think that's going to be a better thing to do, because otherwise we're going to have too much grass doing up there, and it's just going to end up taking us too much time. There are a few people that would like me to get a bigger and better set of mowers. I'm considering that, but the butterfly mowers are fairly expensive, and this tractor is going to struggle to pull a set of butterfly mowers. It's not quite got the power to do it very well. I mean, it can still do it, it's just not going to do it wonderfully. So that one is a maybe at the moment. We will wait and see. Mostly, though, we just need to get a little bit of money so that we can get the herbicide. We can get this field sprayed with herbicide, and then we will, tomorrow in the morning, we'll be able to get the next, we'll be able to get some milk sold, and we will have enough, we'll have some money then, which will hopefully cover the costs of our next planting after we've done all the rest of the stuff that we need to do. But anyway, I've run out of time. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.